We're back for another podcast.
Check out my jug of water.
That is. I don't even think that's a jug of water, Peter.
This is a half gallon. On the internet, it says you are to drink a half gallon, this much water every single day.
So that's what you've been doing?
I've been trying to. Yesterday was the first day I actually did it. I'm so excited. I've been trying for 2 weeks now to drink this every day. Yesterday, I finally did it.
Oh my goodness.
But wait. This isn't sponsored or anything. I wish it was.
It's not sponsored.
Watch this. You take the cap off.
Can we get a Yeti sponsor?
Please. You take the cap off. What do you do with this? How do you drink?
Oh, wow.
That's a first.
All right. Boom. Drink your water. It goes back. Again, in case you missed it, for people that are listening.
One more time.
My canteen, my giant canteen of water.
I guess we should start with that. It's a giant canteen.
And it has a magnet that holds the lid.
And it snaps into place.
It's just, that's the kind of thing.
I guess when you have this much real estate in a water bottle, you can do things like that.
And it's a weapon, man. If I needed to, I could break my windows.
Okay, we are getting sidetracked. Who is our guest? We have a guest today. You want to introduce him, Peter?
Yeah. We have a guest today. His name's Ryan Savin. He is a maker. He is a leather goods maker, owns a company called Little King Goods. And we met online on Instagram, started messaging. And then recently, the day that we're actually filming this podcast, I've just put out a video featuring Ryan and all the cool stuff that he's doing. So very excited about this. And it just so happens that this guy has a lot in common with us and how YouTube has kind of just come into his life and changed
everything.
Changed his whole business, all of that. So that's why I thought it'd be really cool to have him on the show and talk about someone that went from literally zero on YouTube to what do I do now?
The gospel of YouTube.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. So welcome.
So I've met you just briefly, but I know like very little about you in the end. So I don't like, you're from Canada. You're from Guelph?
From Canada.
Tell us where you're from, who you are and what you do.
Thanks for having me on the show, by the way.
Oh,
this is like
worries,
insane.
Man.
I love this.
Thanks
It's so
for coming.
cool. Yeah, I'm from a small town called Morriston, Ontario. Nobody knows where that is.
Nobody's ever heard of that town.
Guelph.
Never.
Guelph almost sounds like you're throwing up, so I don't like saying Guelph either. I just say west of Milton. Guelph.
I would say like, yeah, because I don't even know where Milton is.
I know where Milton. We were just there writing those Shredder DTV things there.
Which looked awesome.
Yeah, that was fun.
Kind of near Hamilton.
Yeah, it's on the way to Hamilton. Yeah.
So like west of
close
Toronto.
to America.
Yeah, towards America.
Towards America.
Close enough to America.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
you run a leather making business. Is that like?
Yeah.
Is that? Am I saying things properly here?
Leather craft, Smith.
Okay. It's more, I tried to make it more into a brand than anything. So I started off just, randomly making stuff because I needed stuff like a camera strap and belt. But I just wanted to make a sweet brand, Canadian made, and something that would last you forever. So that's kind of why I started it. But it was because of a necessity of something else.
I have something here that he made me. Look.
I'm sorry. I apologize to all the podcast listeners, but this thing is pretty sick.
It's pretty awesome. So Ryan,
you have to go and watch the video now to see what Ryan has made.
Look at this. Ryan made me this case for my iPad that has this sweet little buckle, and it's really nice.
It is the most legit piece of leather case thing I've ever seen and felt. Yes, this is very, very.
It just feels right.
It looks like this costs like $5,000.
It does. It does.
Oh, okay.
But for a short, limited time,
you can have it for
the low cost.
Low price.
But this is the kind of stuff he makes, right? So accessories and bags
sick.
and wallets and all of those little things and bigger things that people use on a daily basis. And that's kind of how we met, because I used to do that before YouTube.
And now you're sort of in it again.
Yeah, I was trying to basically do what you were doing, and I was just going into debt, and it wasn't working for me. And I sold the whole business off, picked up my camera, and made a video, and then this whole world started for me. But now I'm kind of getting back into it as like a hobby. Yeah, and that's how we found each other.
I just want to say, like, when I found out, first of all, that you worked with leather, I literally had to shut my phone off and be like, no freaking way that Peter McKinnon works with leather. I was done. I'm like, see ya. I'm not checking social media. I'm not going online. I'm just done.
Peter's full of surprises. That's what I've learned. Yeah. It's like, oh yeah, I do this thing too. Oh yeah, I do this thing too. It's like, what? Like,
I'm a black belt.
Yeah.
No, you're not. No, I'm not.
I'm like, another day, I'm like, yeah, my belts, I've been wearing the same belt for like probably like 10 years. And I got it. It was a hand-me-down from my dad, and it's finally starting to break. And then Peter's like, oh, I could just make you a new one. I was like, what? Like,
what do you mean?
What? I was going to go to the store and try to find it. No, I'll just make you one.
I'll make you a better one that won't break. And you'll have it forever. You'll give it to your kids.
Cool. So were you doing that for like a full-time job, or was that like a side thing for you, or like what was full-time?
No. So what happened was I used to work for contract work for the city of Toronto as an electrician. Okay. So I went to, I did all my schooling, I did all my trade hours and all that. And I was doing that plus, this is where it's crazy, like photography, because I went to school for multimedia design, fell in love with photography. Okay. So in between my apprenticeship start and finish, I went to college, in Durham College out in Oshawa. Right. What's up, Tyler? And
it's a scary place.
I did. It is. Just gonna say almost as scary as Hamilton, but love you, Hamilton. But seriously, it was. I fell in love with photography and videography, and I wanted to do videography. I just loved it so much, and got out of school, and it was a really hard time, especially for finding jobs and work in the industry. It was kind of like a recession. So I just continued my summer job, and which was as a pool boy, which was
straight up pool boy.
Pool boy, yeah.
That's like the most classic job in like all the movies. Always like it's like and the movie starts out, the kid is a pool boy, and like
keep going.
Yeah. So I did my photography on the side. Like I started doing freelance work and started doing the whole, what every photographer does is the wedding scene, which is like, yes, I love it. I was just watching the vlog or the podcast the other day with Jesse and how much you guys just love shooting weddings.
It was fun for a time. It's fun for a time.
For a day.
Yeah. Then you get home, you're like, oh my gosh, I have like 5,000 photos to edit and people screaming at me. But no, so I did that on the side as well as I went back and finished my electrical apprenticeship because just the pool boy thing was not fun. So
wasn't floating your boat.
Dad joke. That was good.
I got him.
So yeah, I finished my apprenticeship, but did photography on the side, weddings and stuff like that. And I just gravitated more to photography and I like that. So
interesting. And then that led you made a camera strap. That was like the first thing that you made. You're like,
exactly.
I need a camera strap.
It starts that way. And then you get the bug. You're like, oh, this is fun. I need to make more things. Who needs something? You need a wallet? It's on the house.
The first wallet I made was that thick though, because I used the wrong leather.
It's like a hamburger wallet, right? Same here. It's like a Big Mac wallet.
Yeah.
And the next thing you know, man, it's like you're buying hides of leather and all these weird tools and dyes, and you're sitting at the kitchen table like a mad scientist, gluing things like you're back in public school. The house smells like toxic glue.
Yeah.
Your wife comes home. She's like, "What are you doing, hammering on the table?"
This sounds like a Breaking Bad episode or something.
Just making a wallet. Why? I don't know.
Leave me alone. I'm making a wallet.
I'm trying to be creative.
So did you start liking that more than the photography and stuff?
Oh,
or was it like both were like the things that you like doing or whatever?
I just fell in love with leathercraft. I'd never touched a piece of leather. Everything I owned was like pleather.
Yeah.
Just fake leather or vinyl. Yeah. And as soon as I just handled this material, it was like my life changed. It was like, oh my goodness. And the amount of things you can make with leather, unreal. Like it's just incredible. And types of leather. It's just, man.
This smells great.
It does. It does smell good.
I feel like I should just leave and just let you guys just talk about leather for a while.
You know what I always liked about it was like the analog aspect.
Right.
Because everything we do is digital and there's buttons and internet and connections and social aspects.
Staring at a screen.
Exactly. So going and just making something with your hands, analog, like you and your thoughts, maybe some music, and you just kind of like get lost in like your own little world. And it's just such a nice break. It's probably like reading a book. Yeah. Just go outside, get in a hammock, and read a book.
It's probably like,
I don't read books.
You've never read books, it's probably like those books. That's what they're called.
We got audiobooks now. We have audio. I still don't listen to audiobooks, but if I was, I would imagine it's the same.
It's exactly the same. Yeah. I would imagine. Yeah.
That's so good.
So then you just all of a sudden like, okay, we should probably say like, how many subscribers do you have now already? Like
on YouTube, close to, I think just over 66,000.
66,000 in just like 70, a really short period. You just like started popping off all of a sudden.
How did that happen?
Yeah, how did this happen? Like,
to this day, I really don't know, man. Like it was,
did you pay
thought
somebody?
There was something wrong. Yeah.
Who did you pay?
They're all fake subscribers.
Where's the email? Give us
that's
the email.
That's a lot of money there. So yeah, it was weird. I kept, you know, that YouTube studio thing on your phone. I
Yep.
would like refresh it like maybe half a day and I'd be like, oh my gosh, in one day I grabbed like 5,000 subscribers. So I'm like,
But how? Like what?
I think that's more
I
subs than
don't-
I've ever gotten in a day.
That's more than I'm getting right now.
I
for
don't
sure.
know. I mean, since then it's obviously kind of
Yeah,
dropped off,
obviously,
but
yeah.
when it was hot, it was like hot. I'm like, oh my gosh, I kept refreshing. I was like going up 200 at a time. I'm like, what's going on here?
Did
right?
you have like a video that
you
just like all of a sudden took off or something like that, or what?
So this is the weird thing. So you know how YouTube kind of changed the YouTube partner. You have to have like 4,000 hours and
Yeah.
whatever 1,000
to
subs.
get monetization.
Exactly.
Fun fact. My dad just got monetized.
Yes.
He's like, Pete, I just got monetized. I was like, I don't even know what's going on with my life right now. This like worlds are colliding.
Also, fun fact: this podcast is not monetized yet.
It's
we
not
should probably monetize. We're idiots.
We're Matt Diavella up here.
Yeah. Except Matt Diavella started monetizing
I saw
videos.
that,
Yeah. Anyways,
Yeah.
continue.
Yeah. So it was just so weird. And so I was like, man, this thing could be a thing. You know, this YouTube channel could go somewhere. And so I started pushing all of my followers from Instagram over to YouTube, hoping that, you know, I could get the threshold or whatever I need.
Convert some of them.
But it wasn't that I was like I'm like, I want to make money on YouTube, this and that. I'm like, I want to see like, how is it possible? Like, and you know, people have all these videos and how much money you can make on YouTube, this and that. But when I first started the channel, I needed a video to put on my website to show how I made stuff.
Right.
And that was like almost a year before. So I had one video, 1,000 subscribers and like 1,800 hours of view time. So I'm like, okay, I need, what is that? 1,200 more hours? No, is that, I don't know. I can't
Whatever
do it.
the
2,200
math
hours.
is. Yeah.
And
That's why we have calculators.
so that's what I did. And, you know, it just started. One of my videos, I guess, went semi-viral.
Okay.
There was the
What was that video?
making the iPad case.
Ooh, hello.
That specific one that
No,
you just
the bigger one.
Okay.
But
so-
yeah. And
How many views?
now it's at almost 650,000 views in
lot of
like a
views.
couple
Dang.
months.
Yeah.
So that was
That's a
like,
lot of
oh my
views.
gosh,
That's
that's pretty amazing. Let's just keep, and it seemed like people like making videos, you know, like I'm a leather crafter, but I like watching how knives are made or how woodworking is done or, you know, just making stuff.
Tyler,
So-
can you pull up that video? I'm really curious
Yeah.
now. I
Okay,
haven't
so-
seen any of your
Oh,
videos yet.
okay, yeah.
I haven't seen
Don't
any
judge
of your
me.
videos.
Someone sent it to me, and the first thing they said was, "Dude, I just watched this whole thing. I don't know why, but I couldn't stop. I just watched the whole thing.
It's
I
funny.
just couldn't look away.
like hypnotic,
And then I
maybe.
watched another one, and they're so oddly therapeutic. I just loved it. It's like Chris and his puzzle videos, right? I just had to watch the whole thing.
It's like your dad and his guitar videos. I literally got suggested one. I was like, oh, I'll just watch. I was like, I'm enjoying this. Like, I just watched the whole thing. I was like, this is great. Like,
That's amazing.
Yeah, here it is. Here.
it's not like I'm not into guitars or anything, but
We can put
Yeah.
this up on the podcast, right? For people who are watching. So
Yeah.
for anyone that's listening right now, this is the video of Ryan
Yeah.
making the iPad case. And what he does is goes through the entire process. There's no audio, like there's no music. It's
Yeah.
all like heavy ASMR. Like as Ryan told me,
interesting.
just the sounds of the workshop. Let's listen to this for 2 seconds. It's fascinating.
this is
right?
very heavy ASMR.
Yeah. Yeah. Skip forward a little bit and you can see like the
It-
sounds of him cutting the leather, dragging that scratch all through the patterns.
For those of you who are only listening, like it's really well filmed. Actually, I'm very impressed.
I want to get to that.
I'm
Yeah,
very
it
impressed.
I want to get to that. That's one of the reasons that I wanted to like reach out to him.
The lighting is really nice. All the shots are like really well put together.
And think about how long extra it would take you to just make something when you're also trying to set up a camera
Yeah,
for
film.
every single angle.
And you want to make the angles interesting too. You
Yeah.
don't want to just like the same angle. That's what
Yeah, you're
is the
changing it up
hardest
every
thing.
time
Yeah.
here. Yeah.
And just trying to nail focus all the time and hoping that like it's in focus.
Oh, this is unlike any other YouTube videos I've seen. Just because of the fact that there isn't like music or talking or like voiceover or
You know-
you're not explaining what you're doing. It's
Yeah.
just literally you making it, but it looks good and sounds really good.
I didn't want to put like cheesy music in there. You know what I mean? I was like, okay, what kind of music am I going to put in there? And I just didn't want to put anything stupid. So I'm like, I'll just leave it.
Yeah, my favorite part is coming up when he starts burnishing the edges with the burnishing tool. It's just so great.
I love the glisten on that die. It looks so cool.
Oh, yes, please. All day.
I'll leave you two alone.
Did you know about ASMR before this?
I had
you
heard
put it in
about
the
the
title.
term. Yeah, but people kept messaging me. They're like, "This is the best kind of ASMR." I'm like, "What? That sounds kinky and weird."
Yeah,
You just Googled it real quick.
Yeah, I'm like, "Oh, well,
oh, okay.
I mean, it is, right?" So I'm like, "Oh, let's put it in the title."
Look at Tyler back there. Just like his mouth is open. His mouth is
I've never
open.
seen
Just
Tyler so
watch it.
happy.
Yeah. It's like, yo, this is great. Yeah. So that's the video that went basically kind of viral for you.
I can't see how many views it's got now.
And then roll that over a little bit so we can see. Just
Roll
move
it
that
over
window.
move it over, Tyler. We can't see how many. Oh,
Okay,
650,000.
May 12th, so
views.
May, June, July, a couple months.
That's a lot.
That's a
Yeah.
lot.
That's a
especially
lot.
for someone who has nose. I was just blown away and just
And you're
humbled. I was like, "Oh my gosh."
Nearly 70,000 subscribers now.
I'm really curious to know, is that most of that audience, are they leather people or are they ASMR people?
Yeah.
Or just like someone that found
But
it.
listen to the combo.
and
It
liked
just sounds
it.
weird. Leather and ASMR just doesn't.
It's like you hit that, like
I probably have a lot of amazing people.
you've hit like some weird niche that like just nobody else has hit, and
Yeah.
therefore it just like
So
works.
here's where the story gets interesting. So we can pause that now. So what happened is I go on YouTube, I click on trending, and creator on the rise is Ryan's channel.
Oh, so you got creator in the rise also.
So I
didn't even know
reached
what that
out to
was.
him on Instagram and said, creator on the rise, like congrats. He had no idea what that meant. He thought I was
you
just
didn't
like,
even know that you were a
he
creator.
thought I was just like calling him like, what's up, creator on the rise? Like, congrats.
Yeah, I thought it was just like, "Yo,
this
you're
weird
You're doing well.
compliment.
You're doing well, man." I'm like,
You're a creator on
definitely
the
on the
rise.
rise.
"Thanks, man."
I always call other people creators.
So what did you think when I was like, oh, Peter just paid me an interesting
Yeah.
compliment?
Well, first of all, I threw my phone down. Like, there's no way. Someone's messing with me. Peter McKinnon is not a leather
You've been
crafter.
punked.
And now he's like reaching out to me on YouTube or on Instagram saying, "Creator on the rise." And I'm like, what the heck does creator on the rise mean, first of all? And what are you doing messaging me, right? Like, so I was like, "Thanks, man. That's
You're
weird."
a cool creator, also on the rise.
Yeah.
You're a cool risen
you've already
creator.
risen. Yeah.
Did I just get like knighted? Creator on the rise?
Yeah.
So it was weird. And then like a couple other guys messaged me on the same day. They're like, "Yo, creator on the rise." I'm like, "Okay, this is something." I'm like, "What does that mean?"
Yeah.
They're like, "Your channel was trending on the trending page." I'm like, "No." So I scroll like a couple posts down. Little King Goods, creator on the rise. I'm like, "What?"
Bam, all the
That's pretty
thumbnails
cool.
right there,
Yeah.
ready to go, ready
It
to
was
rock.
cool.
Yeah, those are
and
good
you're getting
thumbnails,
great
too.
views too. Look, 310,000 views, 650, 115,
those are good
130.
views.
Like your turnaround on that stuff from when you started posting consistently is wild for the amount of subscribers you have. Like 86,000, 161. Like these are great numbers.
How many videos had you posted before that video that took off? Was there, like,
I think probably 5 or something like that.
Okay, so not that many
5 or
even.
6.
That's interesting. It's kind of the same. When I started, I had like a few travel films on my channel and had like 3,000 subs, I think. I wasn't really trying to grow it. And then I posted my first tutorial making GoPro cinematic. And then it didn't take off right away. It was like a couple weeks later, all of a sudden it started getting views. And
That's
then
the
like,
first video I
then
saw
it-
from
then
you.
like 100 subs,
Yeah.
200 subs,
Yeah,
300.
yeah,
It just
yeah.
like kept going and going. And then like that's,
The chain
and then I just
reaction.
kept posting after that. And then it
Yeah.
was like, oh, just
Yeah.
keeps going.
That's awesome. Yeah, I found the same thing. Like once you find that niche or what people, I like making things that I like, but once you find what people like that aligns with what you like,
Yeah.
it's just so much easier, right?
That's
It's just-
important though, finding what aligns with
Yeah.
what you like. Because
Yeah.
a lot of people will then cruise into what other people like,
Yeah.
not what they like. It doesn't align.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they just want the numbers.
Yeah.
And that's when it
But
starts
you also have to be good at whatever you're doing. Like
Yeah.
if you didn't film them as well, if you weren't good at making these leather craft products, like it wouldn't have the same effect. I don't
Yeah,
think.
I think you're right for sure. Yeah.
Okay, I need some numbers from you. How long does it take to make an iPad case? If you were to just walk downstairs into your shop and just bang it out, how long? No distractions.
No distractions. It'd probably take me Couple hours.
Couple hours.
Yeah.
For a wallet,
How-
did you say?
For that iPad case.
Oh, you
Yeah.
can do
Couple
that in a
hours.
couple hours?
Well,
Wild.
if I first started, it would
No,
take
like
me
today.
days. Yeah, today, since I know what I'm doing, I got my templates. You know, I just trace, cut, stitch. I know what I'm doing. The first time I made that iPad case, it probably took me like 3.5 hours, 4 hours.
and how much do you
That's still,
sell
like,
that
my-
for?
my best time.
What's the business here?
So,
It's like-
what I sell that for, the small one is at 175 US, and then the bigger one is I think 215 US.
But okay, so 2 hours ish. How long does it take you to make while filming yourself?
Oh
make it?
man, yeah. So it almost like doubles or triples the time.
really?
Yeah. And
Yeah,
then
just
the
changing
edit
angles.
afterwards is like that. The whole day is gone when I make something like on camera.
Yeah.
for sure.
I'm wondering that because like those shots aren't just
No,
your
they're not
regular
slapped
shots,
together,
right?
yeah.
Like they're
Yeah.
like he's got the focus dialed on the smallest little corner for just one little boop, one
Yeah.
little hammer of like the chisel, and then the next shot is another super like. Do you ever just get stuff out of focus and then you're like, well, I can't do that again
Yeah.
because I don't need to do that part of the bag again. Like I just stitched it, it's gone. I don't need to stitch
that's
again.
true, man. So yeah, there's times where I just film for like 3 or 4 minutes straight of me doing like a burnish on the edge, just because it will go out of focus, and so
right,
I'll just
okay.
like capture that 5 or 10 seconds I need, and like thank God that I did get 10 seconds that I
Okay.
need, right? So that part, but I want to add motion now to my films or videos. And
I said he needs like a rhino slider
Yeah,
or
like
Like a
this
something.
goes back
motorized-
and
yeah.
forth by itself.
make it more
kind of.
cinematic. So that's kind of my next step with that. And
What
we'll
is
see.
this like? What has it done for your business then? So going from
Yeah.
0 subscribers to nearly 70,000 subscribers and all of these views, your website's it's linked in the comments, right? Like it's linked in the
Yeah,
description.
You are
Yeah.
linking
Yeah.
your problem.
If you said no, I'd be like,
Please
get up,
tell me
get
you
up
are.
and get out right now. So what has that done as like, and as a maker that's hand making everything, that's either like a blessing or a nightmare or both.
It's definitely both. Just super thankful to be able to do this now full time. In the last 3 months, it's just been, since those videos have gone, got all those views. It's unbelievable how much business I've got through YouTube. Everything, like on my site, it shows the analytics of the traffic coming to my site, and it says like in the last 48 hours, you've had 4,000 people come to your website. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
that's a lot of
It's like
traffic.
98% from your YouTube channel. Probably
exactly.
Yeah.
It used to be all from Instagram.
Yeah.
And then it's all from YouTube. And I find YouTube is so much better. It's so much, I never thought.
Yep.
Because I'm like, who's like, people are on YouTube to watch stuff. I don't know, not to
It's
buy.
so much
You know
more
what I mean?
than that.
It's a
It's
totally
crazy.
different platform because like people are used to watching 10-minute videos on YouTube, and then they'll even go in the description, check out your
Yeah.
links. Whereas Instagram is just swipe,
Yeah.
swipe. Oh, cool. Maybe like, done, close it.
Yeah.
You don't
Yeah.
go in like, oh, what's this thing? He's like, I would never do
Yeah.
that on Instagram. It's just it's not what that platform is
It's so
for.
true.
And so it doesn't convert
Yeah.
into sales for companies. And I think companies in general think that Instagram is the thing.
Yeah.
That's what they're all trying to build. Instagram. But they don't actually realize that it does, like the Instagram audience is a lot more
The
lazy.
Instagram audience is
Yeah.
the YouTube audience.
Well, yeah.
They just want the photos.
Yeah,
They just
exactly.
want like, oh, what else is he doing?
Yeah.
Oh, he's over here. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I want to
Yeah.
see that.
That's
Yeah.
true.
I think that's like my Instagram exploded once my YouTube channel started going up.
Yeah.
It took
I
me
wouldn't have an
forever.
Instagram following if I didn't have it.
Same. It took me-
That's so weird.
It took me like with the same photos, same style of photos I'm
Yep.
posting today.
Yeah, nothing changes.
Trying so hard to make that grid look good and match
Yeah.
those tones and like, does this look right? Like, I ask you every day, is this green too heavy for the green that's
Do you think
6
this
photos
matches?
below? And you're like, oh, dude, I don't even care.
Yeah.
But doing that for so long got me to around 20,000 followers. Then I started my channel, and like you fast forward 3 years, at that rate, I should be around 60 right now, or 70 if I didn't start my channel. I'm at 1.8 million on Instagram because of the people coming from YouTube.
Yeah.
So it's
Man.
funny how that goes the opposite way you think it should.
I think the commitment level on Instagram is just like, there's no commitment. It's just,
Nah.
But on YouTube, you actually spend that time watching. You get, I think,
Yeah.
more invested into what's happening. And I noticed that just through analytics on my website, the YouTube people stay longer on my website than the Instagram guys do. So
Interesting.
It's pretty amazing just to think that YouTube has been so good to me.
If anyone listening wants to see how Peter McKinnon would shoot a leather video,
Yes.
by this point, it's live on the channel, so you can go check it out. I actually went to visit Ryan, went to his shop, brought the red.
Yeah, you shot it on red.
Brought the
red, eh?
I was like, you know what? I'm going 8K, bro. I don't even care. I wasn't gonna
Not
bring
many
it.
people could say that. But
Yeah.
Peter McKinnon.
Yeah, I want to see what that burnish looks like in 8K. Yeah, I really liked that. I need to do that.
You sent me that one screenshot. I was like, yep. That's red right
so
there.
It looks
good,
better.
man.
It looks better than real life. The 8K looks
Yeah,
better
yeah,
than real life. It's
yeah.
just insane.
It's funny how exciting it is to shoot something when like you see on the screen how different it looks.
Right, yeah.
The feeling it gives you that like you don't get very often because we do this every day.
Yeah.
You get used to depth of field. You get used to how things look. You get used to your setup and you're like, yeah, cool, it looks good. Like I'm used to that.
Yeah.
But when you see something different that's like noticeable, like that feeling of excitement and glee, and like I can't wait for people to see it, and like you're just mesmerized by like the tools again.
Yeah.
I liken it to like when I would be fooled as a magician. Like you start doing magic, you get used to it, people do tricks for you, and you can kind of spot the moves, you can kind of play them back. But when someone fools you, and you've been doing magic for 10 years and they fool you and you feel like you did when you first started again, and you're like, I don't even, that doesn't make,
Yeah.
had that feeling again. Like just looking at the light, and his shop is lit beautifully.
Yeah, that's the second thing I said. I was like, oh, that looks
That
sick.
light
And then I
is
was
good.
like, that lighting is
You know
really
what
good.
it is? So you know what it is? I thought of you. Remember when we made that video and I made night photography? And what
Yeah.
did you do? I made night.
I made night videography, I think.
Yeah,
or
you
something
did
like
night
that, yeah.
cinematography or something. I did
Or
night
something, I
photography.
remember, yeah.
There was that softbox, that marquee that was above. I don't know if we're able to even throw some of those clips in the podcast. I'd be able to tell Tyler where they were. But like these shots right here that you took of me walking, that light looks so good.
It's like that soft light from up top.
Yes.
Yeah, like
so he's
super
got a panel like that on the side of his wall that basically just glows towards him.
What light is
it? Was the best possible. I walked in there and he's like, oh, so it's in the basement.
You're a little freaked out.
I don't know if this is going to work. I walked in and was like, oh my goodness. Maddie's going to love it.
Well, because it looks like you have a window in there. It doesn't look like you have a light.
It's basically just like a huge 2x4 light panel.
Okay.
That it makes me
What
feel.
company makes it? Do you
Actually, my brother-in-law, his company, he does it for like sign lighting, like bar lighting, and all that stuff.
So it's not like a video light.
No,
light.
no.
It's
not like a super high quality one, but it's really good for what I need.
Yeah.
And it makes me feel like I'm not in a basement.
Yeah.
So it was like, it was lit great.
That's sick.
No flicker or anything. It was amazing. Yeah. So that really helped.
It's funny. There's
Really
times where I've filmed like whether it's like some commercial or like, usually it happens in documentaries when I'm filming a documentary and I'm looking at the script, like my LCD screen, and I have a light usually on there, so it has like a nice cinematic look to it already, and in that moment, I'm thinking like, this looks like a movie. That's when I know it's good.
Yeah.
When you're filming, you're like, this is a movie. That I'm
You
like,
just want to squeal.
Yeah.
Can we, and everyone just stop for a moment. This looks so good. Okay, keep going.
Yeah, but you don't get that all the time. You don't
No.
get that like this is like cinema or whatever you want to call it. Like
I feel more often than not, I'm like, okay, cool. That looks like acceptable.
It works.
It's passable.
Yeah.
Like I'm used to that.
tells the story.
Cool.
It's fine.
Moving on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was nice to just take a little more time, and especially because I'm so passionate about the same thing, being able to, and my channel hasn't really seen it yet. They don't really know that Peter McKinnon's like, they've heard maybe a couple of stories here and there of, I think maybe he used to do it, but it was like the first time I was able to actually share my knowledge. So in that vlog, we had like a little geek out moment where it really shows
was
like,
awesome. Yeah.
oh wow, Peter,
He knows what he's talking about.
Clearly has done this before. So it was a fun video to make. So I just wanted to
Nostalgia.
continue on that. But you said like one of your favorite things about YouTube so far is like the creator community.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's so important. Whatever you do, you should surround yourself with like-minded individuals because they only can make you better. And it's funny because my wife, she's a musician and she's a creative, and she would tell me like, if you're the best person in your group or wherever in your surrounding, you should probably find a new group.
Yeah.
And same with like when I used to skateboard, like when I got the best in my group, I got nobody to push me anymore, right?
Yeah.
So like if you surround yourselves with better creators than yourself, you're only going to get better because you become more critical of your work.
I like that.
And I think that's what I've done. especially in leathercraft. With the YouTube channels and stuff like that, I don't know too many people in the YouTube creator world. Well,
you get to know them fast.
I do. But it was, it's so good because I look at your stuff and it's just like, I look at my stuff. I'm like, this is crap. Delete. Like I got to get better, but you can only get better the more you do it. Right. Yeah. So you're going to have crappy videos, just like, my first ones are, and I still think I got to make them way better. But when I surround myself with guys like you, it just pushes me and it gives me that excitement. Like, oh my gosh, maybe one day I can get that good. Or maybe
it's the same right now with that iPad case, right? I look at it and I'm like, dude, I want to make this.
Yeah, I want to get better.
Yeah.
It's funny. Like, I think everybody looks at other people's stuff and you're like, oh, that guy's stuff is so much better. Like I look at your lighting, I'm like, that lighting's sick. Like, or like those angles are great. Like your videos are really, really nice. And like, I think everybody has a little bit of that, but I don't think like people don't realize, like I said earlier, if you weren't doing it well, I don't think people would be caring. And it's like that last like 5%, 10% of going the extra distance, of having that nice lighting, changing the angle every time. If you just did one top down angle for the whole thing, I doubt it would do as well.
It would work.
It would work.
But
it might get views.
The love wasn't put into it.
Yeah.
I don't think you're going to get the love back.
Yeah. And I don't think people realize the amount of work you have to put it, and that mentality of always wanting to be better, wanting to innovate yourself, wanting to push it to the next level, next point, never being like, I'm good.
Yeah.
I think I'm happy with where I am right now.
Yeah.
I don't think any of us are ever like that. It's always like, what can I do differently?
Yeah.
What can I do better?
Yeah.
Like,
And like you said, you wanted to quit.
Yeah, I totally wanted to quit.
What, YouTube or leather?
Yeah, which
goods?
one?
Or both?
Both, I guess. They came
Back
hand
to
in
the
hand.
electrician. Pool boy.
Going back to the pool boy
that's the
thing.
only
It's a
thing
hot
that made me
summer
happy.
dream, actually.
It's a hot summer, folks.
Yeah, no, it's funny because I was just getting frustrated with my business, and I loved making leather goods. Like I still loved it. And I wanted to quit the business, but not leather goods. Like I still would make things for friends, and that's what my plan was. But I just got super frustrated, and that's actually when I started back on the YouTube thing. So it wouldn't have been quitting YouTube because I didn't really even start YouTube.
Right.
But yeah, I got frustrated. But like I said, the group of people that I surround myself with were like, yo, like don't do it. Don't do it. It's just a season. You're gonna get through this. And that's what's kind of like, and my wife, she was huge into that. She's like, you're not quitting. You're not quitting. She's like, you're come too far. You're too good at this to quit. And I want to thank her too. Like she's
awesome.
She's more invested into this than I am. Right. Yeah. And she puts up with a lot of my like not being there all the time, like always in the workshop and creating things. And so, yeah, I wanted to quit, but the people that I surrounded myself with really, it shows that they do care, and that's like, wow, when someone believes in you, then you can like keep going.
Yeah.
So,
Was it like to me, it seems like a hard business. It takes a long time to make them. Was it like more of like a financial, like you were doing all this work and you weren't getting any recognition or financial like benefit from it, or enough that it was like
the juice wasn't worth the squeeze.
Yeah, exactly.
Based on what you like, that's kind of what sent me off the edge.
Yeah.
I remember I did a farmer's market.
Yeah.
I think I told you guys this, right? I spent like $1,300 on like supplies.
Yeah.
And made like $1,300 worth of stuff. And then made $200 at that market. I bought like the tents. I got tables made. I had my friends make me like wooden displays so I could put everything out nice. And I got there early, got my nice, I looked legit. I was that guy when you show up to like rent a paintball gun that's already all decked out with like all the pods and tubes. And
You would
like,
be that guy
and
too.
You're like, fun fact, I was that guy.
Yeah,
but,
okay, there you go.
but like I'm standing at this farmer's market, like I am ready to rock this place. I'm going to leave it in ruins. Like no one's going to buy produce. They're going to buy leather goods. No one bought leather goods. No. And the only things people bought were the t-shirts I had made that weren't even leather goods.
Yeah.
I didn't even have to make those.
That's hilarious.
And like that's what drove me to be like, I'm going to quit. But I wasn't really friends with that many leather people, so I had no one to tell me otherwise.
Yeah.
That's when I went more like back to the cameras.
Yeah.
Which was a great move.
Yeah, I think so. But now I'm back able to do it and enjoy it.
That's
like a hobby and a
important,
pastime. Yeah.
And now are you thinking you're going to try to monetize YouTube and make that like more like you're living the leather goods are like more of just like the content, doing it for fun, hobby,
Yeah.
or are you going to try to do both? Like use the YouTube to build the leather business, or like which way?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So
If you're hearing that water trickle, it's just water being poured out of Peter's giant canister of water. Trying to work on that.
When I drink it like this, Jess says I look like our 1-year-old.
Yeah, the proportion.
the sippy cup.
Back to the mug.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry for that interruption, Ryan.
Oh, it's all good.
Sorry.
Now I have to use the washroom.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I love doing the YouTube thing. I think it's great. Every time I post a video, sales just spike, which is great. I'm a little bit scared for the video today.
Yeah, I told him
when
that
you
when
post
we
a video,
post, it's either going to like ruin your life.
it's going to break the internet.
Things
So-
go crazy when Peter shouts you out.
I hope it ruins his life business wise. Like,
Site crash, Peter. That's the common.
I hope he's like, I need an employee now.
How many sites have you crashed already? In your career?
crashed a lot of
There's been a few crashes.
I'm pretty psyched on it. Yeah,
That's insane.
we crashed Hyundai.
Yeah, Hyundai crash.
We crashed Hyundai Canada together.
Didn't you? You crashed Epidemic Sound the first time, right?
Blew up Epidemic
Yeah.
Sound.
Oh
Like,
my
that site was like it was gone.
So get ready for it. No.
I gotta put everything out of stock, like off
If you're
out of stock,
listening- if you're
and sold out
listening-
everything.
Yeah.
if you're listening right now, crash a site tonight because this will be the second time it may have crashed, and we would just really appreciate that.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna be
Love it.
It's crazy.
So yeah, I want to know like the future of your channel. Like,
Future.
are you
Well,
going to
future
go
of my
more
channel, yeah.
YouTubes? Are you going to go that direction? Are you going to try and just keep amalgamating? Favorite word. The two of those things together, or what's the deal?
Yeah. So with the YouTube thing, one thing I like about making the videos I do, like the making videos, I don't have to talk. You know, I just let my hands do the
That's
talking,
very convenient.
very
which is
Finnish.
great.
Yeah, I would be 100% down for that.
I don't know if you would be anymore because you're really
I do
good at
enjoy
it now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've
I think
learned
you'd
to
miss
like it
it.
a lot. Yeah, yeah. Sorry.
No worries. So that's something I really enjoy about YouTube is just kind of showing things visually.
Yeah.
ASMR as well, right? So
Are you embracing that side too?
it's funny because I never thought I was really an ASMR kind of guy,
Yeah.
but it gives me goosebumps when I hear stuff like that. It's
I'm the
it's
same.
so crazy.
That's why I like the videos.
For the longest time, I've tried to explain this to people. Like when I was like a teenager, it would usually, the funniest thing is it happens every time I get like a telemarketer call. For some reason, like, I don't know if it's the frequencies of like what you get from a phone, not from like a normal call, but telemarketers every time, if like certain people I'm talking to, I'm getting a haircut, and I try to explain this. It's like it's not goosebumps and it's not like a tingle. It's somewhere like, it's like a good feeling.
With a telemarketer call?
Yeah. So
That doesn't
sometimes
make any sense.
I will literally.
I will forward all my telemarketer
I will just
calls to you.
sometimes if I don't have anything to do, I will just keep listening to it.
What are you talking about?
No interest at all.
That's amazing.
No interest at all. I swear.
What are you
I
saying
swear
right now?
this is true.
So when like the ductwork cleaning people call,
Okay,
we're gonna
you
clean
not-
your
not
ducts.
that.
You're like, hang on, babe, pause everything. I gotta go listen to this
I
for
just
20
like,
minutes.
Yes.
And then
And I just let them keep talking.
I don't understand
my
But
that
only
whatsoever.
if it sparks it. Like sometimes it just doesn't spark. I don't know. I have no idea
Duct
what
cleaning calls don't spark it.
I have no idea. I know nothing
That's
about
the
that.
weirdest thing I've ever
that
heard
was
you
the
say.
best.
Oh my gosh, I'm crying because
That
I'm
is
laughing
too
so
good.
hard. I know nothing about the science behind it or anything like that.
Getting a haircut? Why? I just got my haircut. I didn't get goosebumps from the sounds.
It's the weirdest thing. So I've tried to explain this to people for the longest time.
Good luck
And then
with
when I
that.
started doing YouTube, actually, I think it was right before I started doing YouTube. One of my YouTube friends, Gunnarola, I don't know if you know him, Andrew, he was telling me about ASMR, and I was like, what's that? And then
Oh, it's when a telemarketer calls your house.
I know that, but then I was like, oh, interesting. I think that's what I'm trying to
think that's
explain.
the condition I have.
Oh my
And
goodness.
then I researched it a little bit, but like most of the videos don't it doesn't like do anything.
Yeah.
I don't get that good
So
feeling.
you're gonna
from
go
it.
watch some of his videos.
I think your videos might do it.
so my suggestion for you then would to be
Oh my
like
goodness.
actually buy like a a dope mic, like a boom mic or something, and separately boom the audio of all those things.
Yeah, you should.
Along with the camera. Don't just rely on the onboard. Like actually,
you should have like 5 mics.
Yeah,
like recording from every different direction.
Think about it. You could really like capitalize on that because
sound panels everywhere.
Get it really close into the action.
Dude, the whole sounds of the workshop thing, that's real. And you have so many opportunities to capture different sounds.
Wow.
Like imagine just the thread coming off like a cone, like
yeah.
like just like all those little things, the thread burn.
I honestly think your channel would grow more as an ASMR channel than the leather channel.
That's so weird.
I think that's like it's a big niche market.
And then you could make the videos on how you make the ASMR videos and how you mic your workshop and stuff, and that can.
There's so much you can do.
A lot of opportunity there.
Yeah, forget the leather goods.
Yeah, wallets are cool.
Right,
whatever.
No, I think it's good to have, like, again, we haven't even got to your actual strategy here. I don't know if you have a strategy, but I think it is good to, like, not just have one thing that you're relying on.
Yeah.
So have products, maybe you're making money from AdSense, maybe you're doing affiliate links or whatever. Just try to maximize your revenue streams as much as possible. I think that's like always
that way,
the best.
if your leather sales are down,
you're
like, I don't care because these affiliate links did well and it all balanced.
Yeah, if you didn't, like, if a video didn't pop off that month and you're only relying on AdSense, then like,
that's why YouTube is so incredible and lucrative. Because it really is what you make it. I tell people that all the time. Like it could be very primitive, and very basic, very black and white, or it could be a massive spectrum of opportunity.
I think you don't need that many subs to make a good income. Like one of the first things that I was like, this is interesting about YouTube was I made my first like teaching course, how to, like, it was on like wedding filmmaking, still up on my channel, whatever.
That's too bad.
And then when I was doing research for that, I found this one guy who had 2 courses on the site called Udemy, and it was just on sketching, like how to sketch. And he had 5,000 subs on YouTube, 5,000 or 7,000 at that point, and he was making 50 grand a year from those 2 courses.
Wow, that's gnarly.
50 grand US a year.
Gnarly.
Wow. Yeah, like a lot of money. And I was like, what? Like, and that right away made me realize, like, oh, if you just do YouTube smart, if you're strategic, you're good business minded, like, you don't need that big of an audience. You just need a little bit of an audience.
Loyal audience, right?
Yeah.
I told you this, like within the same realm of making things, I know a knife maker in Alberta who's like, I don't get a ton of sales naturally, but I have 100,000 subscribers. And when I make a video making a knife, I get about 60 plus orders for that knife. And that keeps me busy making knies for like the next 3 months.
I can only imagine what's going to happen to his channel with the leather stuff. Like.
Either nothing's going to happen. People are going to be like, sick B-roll, dope camera. Or they're going to be, the site's going to crash and he's going to
you're going to have to hire like 100 people to help you make leather goods all of a sudden. Like,
get my 3.5-year-old in the sewing machine.
I think one of the issues though that you said is like, you don't want to give up control.
Yeah, we were talking about that. Yeah, that's really hard, especially when it's your baby. You know what I mean? Like, I was asking you about like your channel and having somebody edit your videos, and it's like, but it's not my edit. You know, it's somebody else's edit. But okay, I have to let it go because you're not going to grow or expand if you don't lose control.
And then with success, I feel like there's a lot of things that you've never had to navigate before. Like things like hiring people. All of a sudden you have to be a boss and you have to like navigate like HR stuff and like how do you deal with like everything? Like it's all this weird stuff. And the letting go of creative side, like are people not going to like my stuff anymore if I'm collaborating with another editor, or all of a sudden people are like, no, this isn't the same anymore. And all this stuff, like, and that's I think been the real challenge for me, at least, is all that navigating of the growth. But for me, at least, I don't know about you, but for me, it's been really, really great having people. So like Matt was my first hire, and Tyler, who also helps out with the podcast, he was my second hire. And it's so cool having this team of people that I can rely on and have that help. And then I can focus on the things that I'm really good at and not have to do everything. So I think that's like the key is not trying to hire yourself, but hire people that are, what do you need most?
That's so good.
Find somebody that's really good at that and hire them to do that. And like, I still go through every single edit. I still I edit half my videos right now because I'm doing daily. But it's great having that help. And now Tyler's helping me with like the business side of things, going through emails, stuff that like pretty much anybody who's good at that can do it.
Yeah.
And Tyler's really good at the back end of things, making systems and managing things. And I'm not that good at making systems. I just want to make videos. And I think about like the high level business strategies and that kind of stuff. So I want to be able to focus on that and make better videos.
Yeah.
And I think that's the only way to do it, is to hire people and like have people help you.
Yeah, that's so good.
I think, also like you'll find that people have skill sets you don't have.
Oh, 100%.
That just make your skill sets that are skills even better.
Yep.
Because now this extra person comes on who's dope at X.
Yeah.
Combined with what you're dope at, and
Yep.
now you're twice as dope.
Yeah.
Because of that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've got 2 employees as well, and then I've got like a whole team in Utah that run all my stuff. So I've got quite a lot of people helping the Peter McKinnon brand in the back end.
Yeah.
And without them, would I survive? Yeah. But it wouldn't be as fun.
Nope.
It would be way more stressful.
Yeah.
Burnout would be imminent at some point.
And like stuff just wouldn't be as good.
Yeah.
Bottom line.
Yeah.
And I'm proud.
Yeah.
I'm proud of the team that I've built. So
No good thing on this planet Earth is built on one person alone. Like no big company, no like widespread big product, nothing is built on one person. It's just not possible.
This is kind of unrelated, but kind of related. But yeah. You know that Steve Jobs movie? The one with Ashton Kutcher that was garbage?
I never saw that one.
So
I saw
that
the other one.
The Fassbender one was dope.
That one was great.
I love the scene where they're at the theater and the guy that's supposed to play Wozniak, I think that was Seth Rogen.
I don't even remember, to be honest.
Is that his name? Seth Rogen?
That is an actor,
name?
but I don't remember if that's...
I always confuse him with Joe Rogan. Very
It's
different.
Seth Rogen. I think it was, yeah.
But I love when he's getting mad at Steve Jobs. And he's like, you don't even do anything. Like, what do you even do?
Right.
And he responds with like, I play the orchestra.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh
Ooh.
my goodness, that is so sick.
Goosebumps.
It's the
Like,
same.
well, see yourself out.
It's the same thing when I started doing like more of the commercial work and filmmaking. Like I had always been like kind of a one-man band, you know, like weddings and stuff. Like I can do everything by myself. And then you start doing like a little bit bigger stuff. You're like, who the heck are all these people? Why do we need all these people here? Like, why don't we need a guy just for lights? Like, and then you start realizing like, oh, like this is how you get the good stuff done. Like if you want to make really good films or commercials or documentaries, no, you need a team of people that are all like, this guy's insane at doing sound. This guy knows lighting, everything, ins and outs of lighting. This guy, even just like a camera assistant, an AC, it's amazing being able to go on set, your camera's all set up. As soon as you want to start recording, they just toss on the camera on your shoulder or whatever rig you're using. You
got someone pulling focus.
Yeah, so director yells cut, camera goes off your shoulders, and you can just
And they
focus
stick a beer in your hand. You're like,
Not quite, Peter,
my
not
goodness, this is the life.
But you get to focus on the thing that you're good at, which is like, okay, how do we tell this story? How to make it look good? All that stuff. And I don't have to think about like, oh, where's the next battery? Or like memory cards are like running. I need a memory card. You know, I don't have to think about any of that stuff. Like,
Yeah.
team.
Man.
So
Highly
maybe
recommend
that's
it.
your next step.
Yeah.
But also don't hire too fast.
Yeah.
Crap.
So now you're confused.
Thanks for coming out though, man.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Making the trip. That was fun.
No. Wait. We got to get to his actual strategy. We never got to your.
Can we reveal his strategy?
Oh, do you have a strategy? What are you thinking?
Well, just quickly, what I want to do, which would be kind of cool, is eventually get a storefront with a shop in the back.
Oh, that'd be
so
sick. Yeah.
people can come in, sit
Yeah.
on some really sweet leather couches, maybe a whiskey tasting. What's that?
You gonna make those couches?
That's good. Yeah. I gotta learn that now. That's another thing I gotta learn.
Yeah.
Whiskey tasting, dope, coffee bar.
Coffee bar,
Please.
Pour over coffee,
Please.
and just like a workshop in the back where people can see how things are made. Eventually, I would like to get things not all made by me. So the stuff that is in the store would be made by me at a higher price tag.
Yeah.
But you can buy like the Royal Collection
Right.
by me. And then the not so royal collection.
Still
Not
high
by me.
quality collection.
Maybe work on the title of that extra, the not so
royal,
royal.
not royal.
Royal sounds
peasant
good. Yeah, definitely don't go with like peasant and royal. Peasant goods.
For kings, for peasants.
Little peasant good. Your kids are like hand stitching them all.
Got needles coming out of their hands.
Yeah, not the biggest fan of that idea, but Good luck with it. Like we
No,
said,
that's really
multiple
cool.
revenue streams.
No, I like that idea of having
just
like a
something that's
storefront.
kind of, what is this shop? You know?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Let's go inside.
Do you think you would let people watch you make videos ever? If you had like a storefront like that?
Dude, that's so crazy. Like when you came to my shop to do stuff and you were filming, I was like, am I allowed to watch this? Like,
Yeah.
should I? Like, cause
See, I would come to the store just to watch that.
Yeah. I would probably eventually get over my fear of people watching me while I vlog. Yeah. Like even walking down the street when I'll do a shot and people are watching me vlog, I'm like, okay.
Should I wait till they go?
Yeah, just go, you know?
Yeah.
So
You'll get over that.
It's weird.
The worst is
Yeah.
a silent airport.
Oh man.
There's
Yeah.
like so many people and everybody
Waiting
like it's
at
like
the
silent
gate.
area. Yeah.
And you're like
and
just grabbing some food before the flight, and like all 80 people are like this.
yeah, looking at you.
You're like, all right, gonna board now. Look at that, first in line, and you're like, oh, the world hates me.
Obnoxious big camera,
Just gotta go full send.
filming your passport, trying to get
Yeah.
in the line.
Yeah, no one understands what you're doing.
That's so good.
Yeah,
Man.
I'm really hungry. You guys want to get some lunch or
that
something?
one restaurant
Yeah.
downstairs does hamburgers on Thursdays and Fridays, and it's the best hamburger you've ever had in your whole entire life. And I'm fully planning to go eat that
Oh,
with
man.
or without you.
Hamburgers are great.
Let's go.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Thanks for coming on that
Thanks
podcast.
for having
man.
me, guys.
Really
Seriously,
appreciate
this
it.
is so much fun.
Yeah, thanks.
All right.